Hey,
Hey
hey,
y'all,
hey.
how y'all doing?
How you doing?
Oh, doing all right.
So I have a
Listening.
little bit of so my water tonight. I have a little bit of San Pellegrino left over. So the Italian place opened
Yes.
up for brunch
Oh,
yesterday for the first time,
okay.
and we went and had brunch there. It's because there was a a town event going on, Iron Man event going on in our town,
Oh, okay.
and they decided to open for brunch. That be the start of their thing, and they were open most of the day yesterday. I think they closed at like 4 because they
Okay.
don't usually weren't usually open on Sundays. Well, we went and had a fantastic Italian brunch yesterday. I'm just saying. So,
Nice.
um, today's episode is our, believe it or not, is our 5th year in a row.
Wow.
Yeah, I know you don't
I keep
believe me.
thinking we're like year 3, in my mind. I was just talking about it and I think, oh yeah, we've been doing this for 3 years. And then I go, yeah, we started in 20. And then wait, is it 4th year? I was like, oh my goodness, it's
So this concept we first did on March 7th, 2022. It was episode 15.
okay. Really? 22 wouldn't have been 23?
Oh, March.
Seriously?
Yeah,
Wow.
we started, I guess, in November of 21. So
Wow. Okay.
March of 22. As a matter of fact, the episode is still listed on our YouTube channel. Back before we found the name, Like the Way You Drink, and we were still listed as Lady G and Mr. T. All
Okay.
right, and
Yeah.
it was episode 15. Then we repeated it. All right, in 2023 with episode 54.
Okay.
All right. And actually in episode 54, it's like our we didn't really I didn't get good at labeling our episodes till about our episode 100. So like
You're like,
98,
hey, are we going to stick around for a bit or not?
yeah. 98, episode 98 was the next one. And in 98, I actually, the reason I found it was that I said, we're going to repeat. All right. And that's how I said with the word repeat. All right. And then last year we did it, episode 140. And it's hard to believe that a year has gone by and we've only done 36 more episodes. So we don't quite do 50 episodes a year. All right. We're doing about 30 episodes a year. So which is good. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, the fact that we have lives and we try to do this every week.
We have lives, we have businesses.
Yeah.
There's, things happen. We can't always, as much as we try, as we try.
So, I mean, I found this year, all right, because I know we've not done the same shepherd's pie all 4 years. We always try something.
No, we did corned beef and cabbage. We've done, something different. We did, and it was so funny. I was at a location and they had Irish soda bread, and I didn't buy any. It was like right there, and I guess I thought I was going to go back for it, and apparently.
So it was either episode, because I listened to brief parts of them today to just trying to get our recap as I put it together. I think it was either episode 54 or 98 that you did soda bread as well, and I think you made it because you said I made it on that episode. So and yeah, I've not made it, but you and Gwen goes. And I think it was episode 98 that my mother. 54 or 98, my mother made the shepherd's pie for us.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. And it was good because my mom made it. So this year, I went to, so we started shopping at HEB here, which is a Texas grocery store. Right. And we decided just to look on their app to see what they had. And they had a name brand one, and then they had an HEB brand one.
Okay.
All right. They had their own sections, and it's wrapped in a tub like this. Okay. It's wrapped with this, all right, and it's in their prepped food department, all right. And I just went and got it refrigerated. You don't freeze it. It says do not freeze.
Okay.
You buy it refrigerated, all right, and then you've got like 4 days to cook it and eat it.
Okay,
and it's
nice.
Shepherd's pie. So, from HEB, it's an HEB brand, and then I noticed on our first episode we did different brands, but. Typical, I bought the Guinness.
I almost got the can. I decided to go for the bottle this time.
Yep. I got the cans because I got them in a 4-pack. because the cans were 6-pack.
There was a $2 difference between the 4-pack and the 6-pack, and I went, why would I pay $7.99 when I could pay $9.99 and get 2 more beer?
Yeah, I know that it was well, they were, I think they were $5.90 and $7.90 here.
Okay.
So it's the same concept, but just a little bit cheaper here.
Yeah.
Now, I brought up something today because I was going to put it on and taste it with, and I brought my tasting. Of course, I brought my beer tasting glasses.
Of course.
Decided I'm going to have fun with this, right? This is a beer I've had in my refrigerator for a while. I'm going to do. It's an Oktoberfest.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I'm going to try to kick the Irish back to the October and see a little comparison with it today. How about you?
So I will have to show you. Give me 1 minute.
Okay.
I did make a.
Oh wow!
So this is the big one, but I also did, and it got real. I just got it out of the oven like 10 minutes, 15 minutes ago. I also did a little baby one. So the baby one was for the episode, and then the other one's just to have. So you can actually, it's cooled down enough. You know, you can see all the goodies in there. And then, of course, I did find that I still had a little bit of Tullamore Dew left. So there's a little bit here. I was thinking of maybe making an Irish buck. And then, of course, the Guinness. I didn't have time to go get the teeling because I thought, well, you know, having teeling. But I had for my Irish buck. Ooh, ouch.
Don't break it.
I know, right? Well, this is one of those that's kind of nice. It's not supposed to. It's kind of a cool glass. It's a gift. You can see the separation. You can see that where it ends. So that way the ice doesn't touch the outside so that it doesn't sweat.
Yeah.
So that's the cool part. Then, of course, I thought if I have any little bit after I measure, if there's any little bit of whiskey, it's going to go in here. And then, of course, this one for the beer because it's got to be poured somewhere. And then, of course, I got my Q Mixers premium ginger beer for my Irish buck. Now there are other recipes. There's quite a few recipes, and it depends on who you decide to go with because in Irish buck you can make it a couple of different ways. Food and Wine they prefer, of course, Tullamore Dew, and they said I could put fresh lemon juice with honey syrup, ginger beer, and a basil sprig for garnish. So with them, and you know, you shake it all around, do the hokey pokey, and with another Irish buck, that one called for Irish whiskey, lime, and then ginger ale or ginger beer, and then with the slice of lime. So just slightly a different. It does call for a highball, so this would be closer to a highball with ice. And it just says put everything in here and then top it with ginger beer. I'm just going to use this little guy instead of the because I do have a couple of more of these, but they're a little bit higher. I didn't want to get up on the stool, and my other ones were at the office. So I realized I needed to come home to throw the Irish or the technically it's a cottage pie, not a shepherd's pie, and we've had that discussion before, but for those that have not heard, a lot of places do call it shepherd's pie, but it is not shepherd's pie if it has beef. So a shepherd's pie is made with lamb, a cottage pie is made with beef. Now there is Taylor Street Tavern in Portland. They are going to be making they're going to call it a shepherd's pie, but it's going to be half lamb, half beef. And so they're making it a little bit more of a shepherd's cottage. So the shepherd's pie does have quite a bit of history. I mean, it dates back quite a bit when I
was going to go if you want to do pictures tonight before I.
What was that? Yeah. Okay, let me get a picture. Yes, let's get a picture.
I'm actually gonna hold my can up to it too when I'm drinking tonight.
Yes, perfect.
For the image.
Yes. Oh, there it is. Perfect. And let me put up my little guy, and I'll put it next to yours too. Okay. No, I love it. That looks very pretty. So now we got to see what it tastes like.
I didn't want to stir it before I took a picture of it.
Yes.
because of the way it
Yeah.
came.
And a lot of times once
here
you've
was a
made
3-minute,
it,
huh?
ooh, after you've made it, if it's cooled off, it takes about 15 to 20 minutes in the oven to reheat.
Mine needs to be warmed up a little bit more. So,
all right, well, you're
going to talk while I'm going to go do a 30-second warm up.
Perfect. You go do that. I'll explain a little bit more on the history. So there is history, y'all. You know me. I love to share. Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to get a sip here of that rosemary. Got me right there. So the Irish were a little bit, they lived in cottages. So when Britain got Ireland to be part of the UK, you had this Protestants and Catholics that were kind of going at odds because there was different beliefs there. But it turned out that the Protestants were more the ones that had the businesses and the homes, and then the poor Irish Catholics are the ones that were living in little cottages. So they started utilizing what they had, and they wanted to make sure that the potato went a long way, as well as any leftover meats. So they were using potatoes as their base or their crust, and then adding meat to it. At one point, they were using mutton because mutton was cheaper than beef and also cheaper than lamb. So they were using the mutton in substitute into their cottage pie. And so, but it was still very flavorful for them. Now, in order to keep it a little bit more traditional, again, lamb for that shepherd's pie, and then the British version, it's more beef centric, which is the cottage pie. So that's why if it's more Irish, it's lamb. If it's British, then it's beef. And the Irish were really not big beef eaters, but the British were. So hence why, it's now been changed a little bit along the way. Most of the time they'll call it shepherd's pie, but it's really not truly shepherd's pie. It's really a cottage pie. But it is another very, it feels like one of those meals that's just comforting. So comfort foods. And yes, we're supposed to be in spring, but yet I think it was like 40 some odd degrees. Let me see what my top weather was today.
It was 30 here this morning. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I know that it felt like 33. I think it's what it said, but it was supposed to be a high of, why are you not telling me? It's blank. It's telling me Ventura. It's telling me New York, but it's not telling me Wilsonville. Okay. Oh, right now it is a high of 66, but there was go figure, it was pretty warm. This morning it was supposed to be like 44, but it felt like 33. It felt very chill this morning. The sun is out, so it's warmed up. I don't know that it's 66 degrees out because I still have to put on my jacket when I go out. So when you want that cooler weather situation, usually I'll make a shepherd's pie during the fall winter. It's okay for me. I don't have to wait till now to make shepherd's pie. But it's just a very comforting meal. So check it out. It's not hard to make either. You mash your potatoes, you put Parmesan cheese in the potatoes, make it like regular mashed potatoes, only put some Parmesan cheese in there. And then for the shepherd's pie or the cottage pie, you ground your beef. You want to have a leaner beef. I did do, I think mine was an 80-20, and then I just got all the grease out. But rosemary, thyme, parsley are the main things you want to have in there. The rosemary will go a long way. So watch it with and it's only like a teaspoon you need per pound of meat. But it will bring together everything: salt, pepper, garlic. Like use fresh garlic pressed. You could use ground, but that fresh pressed garlic will just give it that added little bit of flavor. Beef stock, and then you make sure. Oh, and flour. You want to make sure you add a little bit of flour, like a couple of tablespoons, to thicken it up, because you want everything to kind of come together. You don't want a watery pie. You want a cohesive pie that comes together, sticks together, and isn't just like syrupy. You don't want that.
Which mine has a little bit of run to it because of the way it was made in the store. So.
So once everything is cooked, you put your beef first, and then you put your potato on top, throw it in the oven from 40 to 50 minutes. If you're reheating it, 15 to 20. Oh, and did I forget? I just used frozen. It's supposed to be frozen peas, carrots, and so 1 cup of peas and carrots and a half a cup of corn. I just used the mix that has it all. It has the corn. It's got the peas. It's got green beans, although I do pull out some of the bigger pieces of green beans just because I don't want big chunky pieces. I want everything to be about the same size. And you throw that in there too. So mine also has green beans. And you, mister, are a little fuzzy.
I know. I'm trying to fix that fuzziness in my camera tonight.
Do what I do. Put my hand up here to try to get that.
Bam.
I think it's supposed to be a little bit. And also remember on your mashed potatoes, make sure that they're salted enough. Otherwise, it's going to take away from the flavor of the meat, because if you have something that doesn't have a good flavor on top, it's gonna if you can't oversalt one and undersalt the other. You could mix it, but it's not going to be the best.
Yeah.
But okay. So on to making my Irish Buck. Although I guess I should taste my beer first.
I'm tasting the Guinness, and remember, I'm not a Guinness drinker.
Mm-hmm. And you got to remember,
this is now every 5 years.
Right down the middle.
Yeah.
This is one beer that is the way that you want to present it. And let me see if I can get a good picture here.
Let's see if I can do it in the glass here, because I know I popped the can.
Oh, let me get a picture of you pouring that. That's nice.
Well, yeah, of course. Now that the glass is full, I have to go to another glass to do it.
Love it. That looks gorgeous.
So, then I'm going to try it a little bit at my Oktoberfest, though.
So look at that color.
It still tastes better with Oktoberfest, though. That's the problem. Is I'm not a Guinness. I'm not a dark beer drinker.
That's why you went with 4 and not the 6-pack. Got it. And I am using my Be Active, Have Fun, Give Back Oregon Brewery Run Series. I am using, so I had to run a 5K for this glass, y'all.
The things we have to do to get things for the show. I'm just saying.
I know. Okay, so let's see the taste here.
But I'm also sipping on this. I don't remember. In years past, did I sip onto it or did I drink it?
I think you sipped. You're a sipper.
Well, yeah, because I'm used to sipping whiskey. And you don't drink whiskey. You sip whiskey. If you drink whiskey, all right, yeah, you may have a problem.
I mean, you could chug it, but come on. That's you're not really going to get all the flavors in there. All right, so I'm going to make my, oh my goodness, my Irish Buck. There is also an Irish Mule that you can do, which is a half a part of Irish whiskey. They usually call for Jameson, but pick something else other than Jameson if you like. 3 parts ginger beer, 1 part ginger syrup, ice cubes, lime wedge. So that is your Irish Mule, which I thought of, and I said, I don't feel like making all the extra stuff. So I'm going to be making my my Irish Buck, and I have my 1.5 inches. I was going to say ounces that I'm going to do here. Okay. And then a 1/4 of an ounce of.
Do you squeeze your lime juice, or do you have lime? Or do you have?
No, I'm actually using lime. I do have some lime lately. They were on sale, so I've been buying them. So I do prefer fresh, but I will use the stuff just because it'll last and it's easy and it's not going to go bad. And then this is it calls for 3 ounces of ginger beer. I'm only going to go with about
Which ginger beer did you use this time?
Q mixers.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Cock and Bull is still my favorite ginger beer. It truly is. And then you want to, okay. Ooh, that's yum. You want to use a lime wedge to decorate it. You can also throw your lime in there, but the lime wedge is pretty yum. Okay, so let's try this with my Irish Buck. So there was like a certain sweetness in my, I don't know why I'm feeling sweet. Maybe it's the carrots in there, but I tasted a little bit of sweetness here. And it could have been because I had the tartness, if you will, of the ginger beer.
Mm-hmm.
That is very refreshing. Now I'm going to go over to my Guinness. So the flavor, a little bit more of that flavor of that coffee flavor.
Yeah.
Is coming out in the beer. You know, a nice stout. I wanted to have a nice stout this weekend after one of my run for beer. We were at Recluse, but I opted not to because at 12%, I went, yeah, that's a sipping one. I'm going to need to be here for a couple of hours, and I knew I wasn't going to be there for a couple of hours. So,
well, again, my shepherd's pie, it's beef shepherd's pie, was kind of runny. I would have rather had a thicker potato into it this time. Which HEB, I'm sorry, you need a thicker potato.
Okay.
I think it's because the beef was watered down too much, and it thins the potato out. Okay. We had some kick-ass potatoes here at the house over the weekend. That they are not date night potatoes. Let's just put it that way. They had some garlic into them. And I had some for lunch today too, along with some leftover. We had some chicken last night. But I like my potatoes a little thick, and I do love mashed potatoes. Yeah, I like mine a little bit thick. All right.
I do too. These are thicker than I normally make them.
Yeah. And when you put it with, and I think what I'm going to do next year's recipe, I'm going to make it myself with lamb. I'm going to make it with the ground lamb itself, and try it next year because, and again, I think I went back and I probably shared this every year. I'd have to go back and listen to the episodes, and I don't listen to our past episodes that much, guys. I kind of just go with the flow, record it, and take the experience. But this is the one thing that we've recreated now 5 times. And I remember going back. I mean, the first time I think I ever had shepherd's pie was off a lunch wagon in Massachusetts. Mm-hmm. All right. And I never knew what it was. To me, I mean, I think one of the first time we did this, we had both shepherd's pie and pot pie, which I always have pot pies in the freezer that I can pull out and put in, and I can microwave them, or I could, toaster over them or whatever. Mm-hmm. They're a great meal. But nothing beats them fresh. I'm just saying, I want to say that over the years, the ones my mom makes are better. The one Gwen's makes are better than the ones I get in the store prepackaged. But I wanted to try this because of the fact that we started going to this Texas grocery store, which is HEB. We kind of stopped almost everything from Kroger.
Okay. So, I did go to an HEB while I was there in Austin.
Yeah.
And it was it was everywhere. And there's this French guy that he's an influencer, if you will. And so, of course, he went off on not off in a bad way. It was just kind of very funny. And I sent it to my friend in Austin, and she thought it was hilarious. He's talking about HEB. He goes, it's a religion. That's what he called it. It was a religion. So it was kind of cute. But anyway, I went there, and we ended up buying, what was it, noodles or something. I mean, they have all this food, and it's so cool because each of the locations has their they have certain colors. So the green tray goes here, the red tray goes there.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of fun. We had ours to go. And then when we got back, because we were a good half hour away from her place. And so we got it to go. And it was just really nice to be able to really enjoy that dinner. It held up pretty well. Price point, though, was a little bit, I'm like, whoa, I'm spending how much on this? It is
to me, it's a little bit more pricey. That's the other thing is what we've been shocked as sometimes we spend less over here at HEB than we were spending at Kroger.
Okay.
So, and we're trying to average it out because the reason we were using Kroger was because of the fact that Kroger had the gas points, and we were using the gas points. But the hassle that we would go through in the grocery store would take us longer with their app. And that was the number one thing that frustrated Gwen was she does everything with the app to be able to go through the store and get everything she needs by making a list ahead of time. All right, put it all on the app. Well, they changed the app at Kroger and it became harder. I really want to say that our shopping trip to HEB has been, well, yesterday it was a little bit cheaper. And we were out of there in probably half the time.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, and that's you can't buy your time back. You know what I mean? So it's like, and a lot of their foods are fairly decent. A lot of their store brands are pretty good stuff. The only thing I haven't tried, because I'm a Dr. Pepper fan, I haven't tried their version of Dr. Pepper.
Okay.
All right, but they also don't have my real sugar Dr. Peppers at that store. I have to go somewhere else to get them every week.
Okay.
So,
one thing that I did notice with Kroger is that, like if I'm at Safeway, I can be in the store and then it's like I find something, I can add the coupon while I'm checking out. By the time I get to checkout, it's there. With Kroger, there's this delay for your coupons to be on your account. So I have to upload my coupons before I go shopping so that they're there. If I do it at the store, 50-50 that it may or may not be there.
Yeah. HEB has gotten to be that way too, where you get your coupons uploaded right there in the store and you get the deal price. And Kroger, we've noticed that with Kroger. And that was and it's funny because Gwen for 4 weeks straight put in a complaint and no one ever got back. And she basically wrote the last time and said, fine, you've lost a customer. We're going to HEB from now on. And she paid for some extra membership or something like that, which we won't have anymore. But it comes down to, there's a lot of things in food and a lot of things in experiences. And, HEB has great stores. And and they weren't in the Dallas area for the longest time with me living here. It's just in the past couple of years that they started putting them in. And the ones just happens to be quicker to get to than it is to get to the Kroger. But in another month and a half, they're opening a new Target and a new Kroger, literally 2.5 miles from my house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So.
And HEB, it is very special. As soon as you walk in, I was there at the end of January. They had like this little area where you could take pictures. They had this little arch with hearts on it and lights, and you could just take pictures.
Yeah.
Selfies or whatever, which I thought was kind of neat. It was right before you got to the food area. Then they have like games for the kiddos where they can play and stay entertained while you do your shopping. There's other little shops within the big store. You can get your hair cut, your nails done within, but it's a very separate area that's like here before you get into the supermarket. And
they don't have them quite all that.
Yeah, I did not go all the way through the supermarket because we were walking around checking it out while our food was getting made. So we just waited for a bit. So I ended up finding a sake that I like. And so I picked that up and I forgot to take it with me. So I left it and I said, well, drink it. She goes, well, my friend, she doesn't drink all that much and definitely doesn't drink sake. So I was like, well, when you have friends over, just make sure you drink it. It's but it was a very neat store. I really liked it. It was fun. It was different, so they even had what was it, like Le Pain or something? It was a French bakery that was in there too. So you can get all sorts of food. So you can just go there to have dinner or have lunch or whatever it is. It's kind of neat that way.
One of the things I like, and I've been trying to get it is they every weekends they usually have tasters people out for doing like they had chips out in a chip aisle this time, which I got the chips that I tasted.
Okay.
But they had a girl doing champagne a couple weeks ago, which is an organic champagne that we got it, and I actually said to the lady, I tried to exchange information right there, got her card, and said, hey, I said we would love to have you on the show, right? And of course, I don't hear from them. And what that happens is usually she thinks it's a great idea in the store, which we'd think it's a great idea because we'd love to have you on the podcast. But I'm sure she went back to her department and said, okay, go find out how many listeners they have and go ahead and don't see the benefit of being on podcasts. And anyway, that's why I'm not going to tell you what the name brand is yet.
Got it. Yeah. This one that I went to in Austin, they actually had a bar.
Yeah.
That was there. I was like, hey, there's a full bar there. That was kind of cool. So you can go get a drink, cocktail, and dinner, and then there's seating, plenty of seating everywhere. And
we used to have one of those at the Whole Foods down in Addison, Texas.
Okay.
Well, we used to go have that. They had beers and stuff, and you can get snacks and yeah. The experience,
Yeah, it is definitely an experience. My my shepherd / cottage pie was pretty good. I really enjoyed it. I might have to break into the bigger one. I just wanted to make sure I had a cute little one. I didn't, because once you pull it out, it is not going to come out, that beautiful square that you try to get.
It never does. It always comes out messy, that's the purpose behind it.
Yeah. So it would take a minute. It would take like a very tall. If I had done it maybe in my loaf pan, then I think it would have been, because it would have been a little bit thicker at the bottom and thicker at the top. I would have been able to slice into it, but I still would have messed up the sides in order to get a pretty middle section. And I was like, no, I just want this little guy, and go from there. So yeah.
What do you think you're going to do next year when we redo this next year? What do you think you're going to change in the recipe?
I might do that half and half beef, half lamb. I have to find out where my neighbor, the chef, gets their lamb, because it's supposed to be a very lean, delicious lamb. Mind you, I'm not a big lamb person, but I'm willing to try it. I'm willing to see if I like this one.
Yeah, get ground lamb from like Kroger and get the organic ones. Don't get the... Okay.
I would probably go to Whole Foods. If I'm going to do that, I would go to Whole Foods. Or there is a halal, a couple of places, so that it's, it is halal. So it's going to be very clean, that's my biggest thing, is that I learned with lamb, it's the way the lamb is processed, if you will, that makes the difference. And I learned that from, of all places, an Indian restaurant in El Paso, Texas. There was some folks visiting from India, and they wanted Indian food, so we took them to this Indian restaurant, the only Indian restaurant in all of El Paso. 800,000 people, one Indian restaurant. And they're like, oh, you got to try it. And I go, oh, I'm not a big lamb. They're like, oh, and I tasted it, and I went, oh, this is actually really good. And I had to ask, and they told me what they do is that when they get the lamb, they set it on ice and let it sit there for however long. Then they rinse everything off. They put new ice, and then they flip it over. And so they're really draining everything out of the lamb, because they said the funky taste that you get in lamb that you don't like, it's traces that are left behind. And so they go through this process like 4 or 5 times of really cleansing the lamb, getting everything out of it to make it nice and clean. And once you have a clean piece of lamb, you're not going to get that funky flavor that I don't like. So that's why I'm thinking I'll probably go to either Whole Foods or the halal place and do like, I'll still do about the same amount, so it's a pound. That's all it is. So half a pound of ground lamb, and a half a pound of ground beef, and bring it together.
Yeah.
So I think I would try that. I would also probably leave out the green beans. They're fine, but I think having
Peas.
that.
Try peas instead of green beans. I like
Well, there was
peas.
peas in there. Oh yeah, it had both actually. So what I used was this one. It's the Simple Truth
Yep.
mixed veggies. So it has all of it in there.
Mine had onions into it, carrots, peas, and corn. I did not have beans.
Oh, I did have maybe a half of a yellow onion in there. That's right. I did have onion. Thanks for the reminder. Add onions and garlic, people, fresh.
I think though onions, I think to cook the meat in the onions is what would make the flavor better, even either or. So
yes.
I think what I'm going to add and change next year is I think I'm going to get more than just Guinness for stout. So I'm going to get 3 different stouts next year and try it.
There's like 4 Irish beers. I could only find Guinness. I couldn't find Harps. There's another red ale.
Yeah.
There's 4 different ones. I think I need to start looking for them sooner.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, Amazon might have it. Who knows?
Well, no, I'm going to look at the liquor stores and stuff too, because I think I'm just going to try to find. I want to do it with 2 other different stouts, not just Guinness. I want to try other stouts, and I don't know if it's necessarily going to be
just a stout in general, not an Irish.
I'm just going to look for a stout in general. I'm not going to. Okay. I'm not going to make it have to be the Irish, because that's going to be the hard part, finding just the Irish stout.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that you're not going to find. You'll find the red ale. You'll find the lager, and I think there's 2 lagers, the red ale and Guinness. I just can't find the other ones. But the stouts, there's multiple places I can get stouts. The question is, will they put it in a can so that I can have it to go? Because it needs to be able to hold.
That's it. Some of those places. Remember some of the breweries you and I went to. I might go and see if they. I mean, maybe buy a growler of it there.
Oh, there you go.
You know what I mean? Or if they have cans to come home and do it that way. So, I mean, that's local brewery, and I would rather support. I'm honoring what you did, Guinness, the fact that it shipped around the world, but I want to try this from a local brewery and see. Yeah. So.
No, absolutely. I like that. And here in Oregon, there are quite a few breweries that will can them. And so I am part of a brew crew. I am running 2 to 4 or 5Ks a month, going to different breweries. Like I said, this one, Recluse, they did have a stout. I just didn't want to, tap into it because it would have been, that's a sipping. I'm going to be sipping that. But definitely the weather was perfect for it. It was a little bit colder. And that's when you want to drink a stout, when it's a little bit colder out. It just tastes better, in my opinion. So I will have to look for other stouts. If we're going to do just stouts against Guinness, I can find quite a few here, and I know you can too.
To me, I think that's what we should do. And it's that I'm going to do next year is I'm going to do lamb, but I think I'm going to compare it with other stouts and not just Guinness.
Okay, I like that idea. That I can do.
So I mean, this is St. Arnold, which is a local brewery that I did this Oktoberfest from. And I'm going to tell you, the stout goes better with it. I love this, but the stout goes better with the actual. Okay.
I really like the way both my buck and my beer tasted with my pie. Mm-hmm. I think it just depends on what do you prefer. Do you want that richer flavor in there? Or do you want something that's a little bit lighter and brighter? So if you want something lighter and brighter that's going to give you a little bit of the hoo right here, then you're going to go with an Irish buck. But if you want something to just blend beautifully and just add to your shepherd's pie, then you definitely want to go Guinness.
Yeah.
Or stout. If you're having just a stout that's not Guinness, there are so many options. So don't feel that you have to stick to one thing or another. It's, again, you got to like what you're drinking. If you don't like it, don't drink it.
Don't drink it. Yeah. So not worth it. So, any other notes you want to give for today?
That was my big thing. Support local. If you if you're going out, be safe, y'all. We want you to be safe. We want you to be amongst friends. We want you to have fun, but we also want you to think of others while you're out and about. But be safe is the biggest thing. Have some Irish soda bread if you can. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I didn't buy it.
I think that's something else we should put in next year. Is the Irish soda bread? It should be included with it.
Yeah.
I think that's the other thing that makes the difference is adding that to it. So
I think so, because when you're having the Irish pie, having a piece of soda bread, you can just put butter on it and it's going to be yum. And don't feel that you have to make it. You can.
I guess that would be so. Yeah. Oh.
Sometimes you all think you have to make things. You don't have to make it. Somebody said, "Why don't you just go to Costco and pick up, a shepherd's pie?" And I'm like, because that's going to be way too much, and I want it fresh, and not that I didn't think it was going to be good. I just thought it was going to be way too much.
I know, like this was a great small batch, but I don't. You know what I mean? It seems runny, and again, it's probably because of how they cook the meat.
Right.
All right, and that's why. So I mean, I want to try. I think next year to make it, and I think we'll add the soda bread, and I'm going to bring extra stouts next year. But this is a good year. I mean, this is a good tradition to keep doing it.
It's fun.
Once a year, all right, and it is the one. I think it is the one dish that we do every year. One combination we do consistently. We've done for 5 years now since we've been doing.
And this is about the only time he will drink Guinness.
Probably not going to be doing it again. Yeah. No, I mean there might be other stuff that I might mix it with. So anyway, what else we want to tell them here tonight?
Make sure you go to our YouTube channel. And
please don't like our please. I've been flashing our YouTube channel. Please, we need some more subscribers on our YouTube channel. All right, so please go out there and like the YouTube channel. Go to the actual page, likethewayyoudrink.com. Join our what we call the Insiders Club, where we'll probably be renaming that to something else cool. But anyway, it is a way for us to actually build relationships and do things with you guys that are fun. Next thing is our businesses pay the bills here every year, guys. So there's 2 areas that we serve people in. And truthfully, as far as Gladys and I both go, I know before she tells hers is if there's something you need in business, the 2 of us actually have outrageous networks of people. All right. Yep. So, it's kind of like, when people say, well, what do you do? Well, what do you need? We both have a network of people that can help you get what you need. So reach out. And it's
amazing. That is so true. On Friday, I ran into somebody and she's trying to sell her house. And they have to replace the roof. And she had gotten one quote from the buyer that she's I don't trust them. I said, oh, you need a roofer? She goes, yeah. I said, I will connect you with 2. And then I saw her on Sunday. She goes, they're going to come in. So today they were the primary roofer that I gave her 2. And she goes, they're going to go come check it out and give me a quote. I said, great. And then today, in between appointments, I was looking at what's my next appointment? And I get, hey, my granddaughter is a real estate agent. She needs a roofer locally here. And so I'm like, I gotcha. And so I sent it to her and I said, hey, here, do you need a 3rd? I'll get you a 3rd. But sometimes that's all it is finding the connection and helping those that, helping you by what you need. And then we help our people that we work with, that we trust, that are, it's like making that connection. So we do beyond what our jobs are. We truly are about relationships and helping our community and our clients and those around us, period. So we both do that very well.
If it wasn't for our communities, we wouldn't have connected.
Exactly.
Well, yeah. All right. Other than that, all right, we're going to do quick commercials for our business because both of us are here trying to pay our bills. So Gladys, you go up first.
Well, I'm Gladys Boutwell, Insurance by Design. I help you become employer of choice through providing employee benefits. Because guess what? There's 101 different ways that you can attract and retain quality staff and show them how much you care. Because once they know how much you care about them, they're going to stick around. And guess what? When they're happy, they're going to take care of your clients, which means your clients are going to be happy, which means they're going to stay with you and or send you referrals, which means that, hey, how long does it take you to get a new client? If you keep them, they're going to stick around. So Insurance Design Pros, on the upper left-hand corner, you'll see the white paper on 100 ways that you can attract and retain quality staff. But if you want to have the conversation, guess what? Go to my calendar. Go to enrollnoworegon.com. You'll be able to check out my calendar. What's a time that works for you? Let's start the conversation. So I'm Gladys Boutwell, Insurance by Design. And this is my co-host.
Hey guys, my name is Tim Gillette. Simple Easy Websites is my business right now that I'm trying to promote. I actually built Gladys's website for her, as well as my own personal ones, and many clients I have all around the world that I do their websites. Simple Easy Websites is designed to be a management company to run your website for you, so you don't have to worry about it. You want to get a review on what you do and what your website is, go to simpleeasywebsites.com and review it. Something I was just telling Gladys about here just before we launch tonight is something new that we've got. We've got a new WordPress plugin that we're only doing this for our clients. We're not doing this for the general public. And that is helping you get found on the AI tools like ChatGPT and Perplexity and Grok and all of those. Is we've got a system that'll actually get your website found, and it's a plugin, and it actually updates automatically to keep you in your industry out in front of people when they're doing searches on an AI tool. You want to find out more? SimpleEasyWebsites.com. All right. It's another episode done, girl.
Yes. Thank you all for being here.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. All right. And we're glad that we made it through 176 episodes. 5 years that we have been doing this. Officially, we can say it because we're at 5 years of doing this actual episode. We repeat every year. So we'll be back next week with something fun, and we'll be back next year to do this again because we have so much fun. So yeah, let's hold the cans up tonight, cans and bottles tonight. All right, guys, cheers. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.